Welcome back into OneSoccer Today. It's Andy Petrillo, Gareth Wheeler. Oliver Platt is joining us now from Costa Rica. You're excited, our boy Ollie, getting ready for the game. But before we bring him on in, I do want to get to your projected starting 11. Who do you think Herdman goes with?
Usually this is Ollie's drill, so I feel like I'm mowing his lawn a little bit here. This is what Coach Wheeler would do, okay? At the back, I'm changing up the formation. It's going to be a 3-4-3. Kamal Miller, Scott Kennedy, Alistair Johnston. Steven Vittoria has been dealing with a little bit of injury issues with his club side. Not sure if he's going to be ready or not. I'll put Kennedy in that position with Daniil Henry suspended, Sam Adekubi suspended as well. Tajon Buchanan's been playing down the left-hand side with his club. I think he's versatile. That back three can turn into a back four with Lorea shifting back down that right-hand side if need be. Jonathan Osorio playing right in front of the two central midfielders of Eustáquio and Hutchinson. Because Osorio has done well in away travels, I'm thinking at the Azteca. He's such a warrior. He's on great form right now. He can play to the left. He can play in behind. I think it gives the team versatility in the way they want to defend, and no surprise with the two players up top. So that's the best guess I can give. I will say I wouldn't rule out potentially Christian Gutierrez playing, because he can naturally slot into the left-hand side. If he wants to keep Buchanan in a much more attacking role, perhaps Buchanan's preferred on the right to Lorea. That was the one other thought I was kind of thinking of when I was putting together what that 11 might look like.
And we know Herdman has liked the way David and Larin have played together as well. And I'm wondering, Ollie, as we bring you on in, what do you make? Ollie. What do you make of that starting 11, Ollie?
Yeah, I think we've talked about, me and Wills have talked about this a couple of times. I don't think you can put Buchanan in that position where he doesn't have a proper fullback behind him. I just think when it becomes a back five and he's playing left back, Buchanan can struggle defensively in those moments. So I'd always prefer to see whether it's Lorea switching to the other side or even, as Wills mentioned, Christian Gutierrez coming in and playing in this game. I'd prefer to see a proper fullback behind him. But that defensive unit is the interesting question, because if Vittoria can't go, and it sounds like he is questionable right now, Henry's suspended, one of those two has always been on the pitch for Canada during these qualifiers. So they're going to have to do something a little bit different. Obviously, they're heavy on left-footed central defenders. Someone might have to play on their offside, and there'll be a bit of an adjustment for them to make there in what's going to be a really difficult game in Costa Rica.
Who do you think, Ollie, deserves attention? Which player, when you look at this roster, and I'm not talking about the projected roster, more of the 25-man roster that Herdman's put together, who do you think deserves attention?
Well, we'll see if he's actually playing or not, but I've wanted for a while to shine a bit of a light on Steven Vittoria, because I think he's the unsung hero of this team. Even though he's in the lineup almost every game, just getting rotated out for Daniil Henry at times, he doesn't really seem to be talked about that much as the star centre-back he's been for Canada, who have the best defensive record in CONCACAF right now. So I think people talk more about Fikayo Tomori and whether or not he can play for Canada than they actually talk about Steven Vittoria and what he's done for this country, the way he's played over these World Cup qualifiers. So, we've all talked plenty about the doubts we maybe had about the defence, whether they had the personnel to really succeed in that area of the pitch to qualify. He's been enormous, just absolutely instrumental in holding that back line together, playing right in the middle of it, organising everyone around him. I think he's barely put a foot wrong and has been terrific for Canada during these qualifiers.
Yeah, he's been a good leader back there. It's just unfortunate where it seems like an injury has kind of caught up with him, but we'll see if he'll be ready to go. Which player do you think, Gareth, then has the most to gain from this window?
This might seem like a stock answer, but all of them. Seriously,
you can't do that.
When you qualify for a World Cup, there's a knock-on effect for each and every player that goes on in place. This is an audience, greater than any of these players would ever experience or have ever experienced in their entire career. A World Cup brings you to a completely new level where you can become a household name. And that's something that right now, all these Canadian players can't say. So honestly, I think that once you qualify for a World Cup, everything changes, like forever for all of these players. So I'm sorry, maybe Ollie has a name, but I simply just can't pick out one.
I mean, it could change for some more than others, though, right? If you're the guy who scores the goal, right? Who gets them to Qatar to win the game. That's a name that we're never going to forget and is going to be written into the history books. I think there's a lot of areas around the pitch that we could talk about. Again, we were just talking about the center of defense. Someone's going to get a chance to stake their claim. Could we see more of Ike Ugbo or Lucas Cavallini? Could they have a chance to press their case out wide? With Davies not there, Liam Miller, Junior Hoylett, players like that who maybe are on the fringes of the lineup or the squads. There's plenty, I think, still to play for just on an individual level through these next 3 games and obviously starting here in Costa Rica.
I'd love to see Liam Miller score because he's still such a young player. He's had a good season making the move to Basel. He missed that chance against Jamaica, and that's the last time that they didn't win a game. Liam Miller coming up, scoring a big goal. I'd love to see that.